Progress.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear us? Anyone there? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We see a heart coming up. Yes. Elizabeth, welcome from Elizabeth. Thanks for being with us today and many others. You're welcome to, as you know, on all of our calls. Well, there's Bobby. Welcome, Bobby. And Harley. And as we've talked about on every one of the calls, you're welcome to announce your name. And where there's Elizabeth from North Carolina, or Paul and Marlene from Belgium. Thank you very much. So you're welcome to announce where you're from. If not, you can keep it kind of quiet and confidential. It's okay. Sandy and Ed. It is dark at 5 a.m. That's right, Malcolm. Yeah, I'm going to call on you because it's so early in the morning. I might have to have you say something. John, welcome. And Maria, hello. Ellie, Bonnie, oh, from Montana. That's wonderful. And Letty from BC. It was nice communicating with you, Letty, and Tom. Welcome. And are you in a new office space? Yeah, good question, Sandy. We kind of are, aren't we?
No, this is part of the expansion, yeah. So this is our larger conference room, and we moved all of our equipment over here to have more room.
It was Curtis and Adam. Literally like an hour ago, this was all kind of coming together.
Mostly Adam, and Ben did a little too.
Oh yes, Ben, of course. I want to make it clear, I had nothing to do with it. You don't want me involved in trying to run wires and everything. But Donna, hello.
The thing is, our whole conference space was just getting too small. If you were on Tuesday's call, you could see we were packed in there.
Yeah, too many. We needed to expand into this room. Simone, bonjour. You're getting some snow up there. La neige from Ontario.
You know, I just found out the other day when we were talking that you speak French. I did not even know.
Actually, she speaks fluent French. Yeah, so, wow, Baron from Norway, welcome. Well, this is great call. Good start. Curtis?
Yeah.
I think we just jump into this.
Let's do it.
Let's jump right into this, and we're going to talk about, Curtis does an amazing compensation plan education each week to help understand, and you're all starting to get it, which is wonderful. And we're all learning from Curtis and Gordon, and Adam's got this down, of course, because he helps everyone with their qualifications and helping. But here we are. So the goal is we all learn this, and then the duplication happens, right? And then that duplication just starts spreading around the world. So Curtis, take it away. Let's talk about this compensation plan.
Yeah, let's get into the Premium Pay compensation plan. We'll also be we'll be doing a walkthrough of some other things that we're launching soon. I know that a lot of you have questions about the replicated sites, so I'm just going to get that out of the way right up front. So I'll do a walkthrough of where we're at with that. We're like 95% of the way there, and we wanted to launch this week, but I want to make sure it's buttoned up. But after we go through the compensation plan, I'll show you. I'll do a walkthrough of the replicated sites in our testing environment, so you get to see it today. And then we'll launch next week. So thank you for your patience with that. We just want to make sure that it's good and ready to go, so that it can be a good tool for you. And then we will also, I think, be sharing some information about some of the high level of what the qualification requirements will be for Italy, and we'll get into the details of those specifics next week. So we're excited to be able to share that. So let me share my screen and we can get going here.
While Curtis is doing that, just a reminder, if you guys have questions, make sure you put them in the Q&A section on Zoom. With the chat box, the chat starts to get a lot of chats that are going in there, and so sometimes we miss the questions. So if you guys have questions, again, just make sure you're putting them into the Q&A section.
That is a great point, Adam. Thank you so much for reminding us of that. So one of the things I always like to say when we start off is that our foundation is people and product, right? Without powerful products and without incredible people to share those products, what are we doing here as a business and as OLIABO? So powerful products change lives, and passionate people like yourselves carry that change forward. And together we build something meaningful that lasts. So Premium Pay, what is it? Well, Premium Pay is our compensation plan. It's a really unique compensation plan. It kind of brings some of the elements of a unilevel that many of you may be used to and aware of, but also incorporates some new elements that brings kind of the network marketing world and the affiliate marketing world together like never before. So it rewards building and direct, focused customer sales as well in a way that's never been done before. And it's simple. We call it the power of simplicity because it allows anybody to jump right in and start building. Even those who are new to network marketing can jump right in, start referring others, generating and earning commissions, and then rank up to get bigger and bigger checks month over month and year over year. So let's get into it. We built Premio Pay upon the following core principles. We didn't just come up with this on a whim overnight or by asking Chat GPT to give us a network marketing compensation plan. We thought a lot about it and we built it upon these core principles. First, we keep it simple. It's important that everyone understand the compensation plan and have a clear, simple path for maximizing the opportunity. Second, no word games. Often compensation plans in the network marketing industry, they use words like up to or as much as when they describe their payouts, which essentially is to try to hide the fact that their actual payouts are much lower than what they're talking about. And what goes along with this is transparency. Premio Pay clearly shows you how commissions are earned and distributed. Fourth, reliable stability. We understand that the income that you build with OLIABO may become an important part of taking care of you and your family, and we take that seriously. So we put a lot of time and energy into developing and building this plan so that it can remain stable for years to come and allow you to build for months and years to come without concerns about it having issues or changing from month to month. Reliable stability. So whether you're here to casually refer products or grow a large team, Premio Pay makes it easy for anyone to get started, to share, and to scale. Here are some of the unique features. Now, one thing I want to note, as we go through this, we're getting into the much more meat of and detail of the Premio Pay compensation plan. So for those of you that are new, don't get overwhelmed. There's a video that we send out and that's on our Vimeo page. It's 8 minutes that breaks this down as well, so you can kind of digest it easier. But also talk to those people that invited you here. Talk to your upline, talk to other people that have been doing network marketing for a while. We're lucky to have a lot of big leaders here that have been doing network marketing for decades successfully and who love to share their experience and can mentor and help you. So don't feel overwhelmed. Take notes, ask questions, reach out to us if you need anything. Reach out to those that have introduced you here, and you'll get it. And start small and then build big if you want. So, unique features. First, weekly, monthly, and quarterly commission opportunities. Second, we pay out 50% of every CV unit. That's commissionable volume, commissionable value. And we make sure of that by using dynamic compression, which is a key component of Premio Pay. So speaking of dynamic compression makes sure that each level within the compensation plan gets paid out. In a compensation plan that doesn't have dynamic compression, and many don't, and even those that do have dynamic compression or say they do, they don't actually implement it or use it correctly or how it should be used. But in plans that don't have dynamic compression, if a brand rep in the upline structure isn't qualified for a certain payout level, then what's called breakage happens, and that payout level goes back to the company. However, with dynamic compression, the system searches upline to find the next qualified brand rep for that payout level, which eliminates breakage. Next, we've got easy price points to make it simple for you to track your commissions and also to make it easy for people to keep our incredible products in their lives and benefiting from those products. We have minimal CV splits. So a CV split is the difference between the product price and the commissionable volume being paid out. Over the last several years in the industry, we've noticed that CV splits that are massive CV splits have become the norm, and that's not okay. Global bonus pools. Premio Pay maintains global bonus pools where a percentage of all orders is contributed and then distributed among qualifying brand reps. And then we've got minimal structure requirements to make it easier than ever for you to qualify and rank up. There's some general terminology. We're not going to go through all of this, but with the video that you can see in your back office or on our Vimeo account, which you can access by going to oliabo.com, and down at the bottom, there's a link to our Vimeo account. You can review this video and dig into these if you need to get some additional context. So the simplicity of me plus 3, the Premio Pay plan keeps it simple. we've all got at least 3 people in our energy orbit who would either love to benefit from the great products that OLIABO is bringing to market as a customer, or who would be interested in building a business through the OLIABO opportunity. It only takes 3 people to establish a solid foundation and start building your OLIABO business. Now, of course, you don't have to end with just 3, but that's all it takes to start. So let's talk about sprints. We mentioned that Premio Pay has weekly, monthly, and quarterly commission opportunities. Sprints is our initial commission opportunity and pays out weekly. So commissions on a new account's first order. So any account's first order with CV, commissionable volume, is paid weekly through this sprint structure. When your enrollment, a new account, places their first order, now this is a customer or a business builder, when they place their first order, you earn this sprint level 1 commission if you were the one that was their sponsor that they enrolled with. 25%. Now, one of the great things about Premio Pay and about the OLIABO compensation plan is that there is no purchase requirement to earn level 1 commissions, both here in the sprint and in the other payout elements of the Premio Pay compensation plan. There's no annual fees, there's no enrollment fees, and there's no purchase requirements or rank qualification requirements to earn this level 1 payout. Sprint level 2 pays out 10% to a qualified upline sponsor, allowing them to double down or earn a second level sprint bonus on the first purchase of individuals that have been enrolled by their team members. And so this sprint pays out through what we call the enrollment tree or the sponsor tree, right? So, for example, if Joe enrolled me and then I enroll Adam, if Adam makes on Adam's first purchase, since I'm the first level there, I would get that 25%. And Joe, well, let's just use this example. Let's say Adam buys a Prima. Prima has 100 CV, so I would get that first level because he's my direct enrollment, 25% or $25 to me. And then Joe, so long as Joe has that 200 personal QV requirement, he would get 10% or $10 from Adam's purchase because he's that level 2. Now, if Joe didn't have 200 QV and wasn't qualified, then the system would look upline to find the next qualified sponsor, Joe's sponsor or someone upline that was qualified, and they would get that payout. So you want to always make sure that you're set up and qualified to maximize your earning opportunity.
And something unique as well, maybe you can talk about the extra virgin olive oil.
Yes.
Because that's a permanent.
That's a great point. So the extra virgin olive oil orders always pay out through this commission structure. Not weekly, they pay out with the monthly payout, but the commissions are broken down this way on extra virgin olive oil. So there's 2 levels of pay, and then 5% to the incentive pool, 5% to the global bonus pool, and 5% to the elite bonus pool.
And so in the scenario, if I sign you up, Curtis,
Yep.
and every month you're ordering extra virgin, you order 3 extra virgin olive oil.
Yep.
You're getting
$25
$25 off of every time you order that.
every month. And that would be monthly. The initial order that I made, the first order on my account, if it was that, you would get that $25. And if I continue to order that 3-pack of extra virgin olive oil every month, you would get $25.
And if I do that twice, I get 2 people doing that.
Yeah.
I basically get 1 can of olive oil, more than 1 can. Like,
Yeah.
for free
you
every
pay for your own
month. You get 3 people doing that though.
Yeah, you start paying for your own.
If
extra
you can
virgin
see,
olive oil.
if you just everyone
commission.
does that, it's a duplication thing. So it's an important point that we haven't talked about it as much, but it was Gordon's original vision for that, and I think it's really good.
Yep. And so that's unique to the extra virgin olive oil product. Good point. Thanks, Joe. Okay, so the baseline, this is our monthly commission opportunity. After initial orders, after the first order from a new account, all reorders, all second, third, fourth, all reorders are paid through this baseline structure. This is your path to building monthly residual income. Here's where team building and consistent customer reorders really starts to add up and build your business. So at the top of the chart, this shows the Premio Pay ranks. There's ranks beyond this, but we start here to give you an understanding of how the ranks work and how to move up in rank. As you move up in rank, you unlock deeper payout levels. Every rank adds more earning potential from your organization's activity up to 8 levels deep. Each rank has monthly qualifications that must be met in order to achieve that rank and unlock the accompanying payout levels. There's 4 types of rank qualifications that you need to focus on. 1, personal volume. That's the personal volume, that's your purchase volume that you personally are purchasing and consuming each month. The second qualifier is your personal enrollments. So these are people that you personally sponsored or enrolled with OLIABO, and they can be placed anywhere within your first 3 levels. They don't have to be just placed on your first level or front line. Personal enrollments can be customers, brand reps, affiliates, wellness professionals. Any personal enrollments, they qualify, and they have to have at least 100 in qualifying volume in that given month to qualify as an active personal enrollment. Team structure. Now, this is the third rank qualification, team structure. So you've got to maintain at least 3 distinct teams or branches, each meeting rank-specific group qualifying volume. Teams are the branches of your business that stem from a team lead on your level 1 or front line. Now, team leads on your front line, on your level 1, they can be somebody that you personally enrolled, or they can be someone that was placed under you by an upline sponsor. So let's say in that same, let's take a different scenario. Let's say Joe enrolled and sponsored both me and Adam, but because of maybe geographic location, Adam and I live in the same area, same city, and Joe thinks we'd work well together. Joe places me on Adam's front line. Yes. So I then would essentially be one of Adam's team leads if I start building a business and organization under Adam. Then I count as one of Adam's teams, even though Adam didn't sponsor me. So that's a way that upline sponsors can help build their teams, help team members grow, and there's an opportunity there for you to place like that if you would like. The fourth qualifier is your overall organizational volume. All the group qualifying volume within your organization, from customers, from your personal orders, from business builders, all of it counts as your total organizational volume. So those are the 4 rank qualifications. Now you'll notice that on this initial rank, rep, everyone starts out as a rep rank. There's no personal QV. There's no active personal enrollments. There's no qualifiers to get that level 1 commission unlocked. You just have that unlocked because, again, just like with the sprints, there's no qualification, there's no purchase qualification, there's no enrollment fees to qualify as a rep and get that level 1 commission. People often ask, they're like, okay, I'm in, I love this, I love your products, I love the model, I love the payout plan. How do I go from a rep to a Premio and beyond, like right away? And it's like, that's great. I love that fire, I love that energy. And the reality is that it's not overly complicated. It really is just focusing on the actions and steps that you need to take to go from one rank to the next. Because each step along the way will allow you to build the skills, the connections, the knowledge, and the understanding of how to move up to the next rank. So doing the things it takes to go from a rep to a Bravo rep will prepare you then to do the things it takes to go from a Bravo rep to a Kappa and beyond. The other important thing to note is that, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a ton of leaders with decades of success in the network marketing space. So make sure you're connecting and learning from and working with the leaders in the organization. There's a wealth of knowledge out there, and they love to share and to mentor and to help. So make sure you're connecting and learning from other people. Levels. So the levels represent the placement positions of the people within your organization. Level 1 are those people that are placed directly to you or front line, right? In that example, Joe, even though Joe sponsored me and Adam is frontline to Joe. So Adam is on Joe's level 1, but then Joe placed me on Adam's level 1. So I'm level 2 to Joe, right? So level 2 are people directly connected to your level 1s. Level 3 are directly connected to your level 2s, and so on.
All of the volume that's under Curtis would help me with my total group volume, and I count as one team for Joe in that scenario.
Yep, great example. So you'll notice Kappa is kind of the first step where there's starting to be some team structure, and some group volume qualifications. This is where you're first starting to kind of build a team. This is where it really starts to happen, where you're building your team, you're building your organization. So let me walk through an example of that, and then I'll take it over to you, Joe, because I think we've got some others that we want to have share about this. Because Kappa is really the foundation of building a strong organization and helping move up through the ranks. So let's look at an example of what it would take to achieve the Kappa rank. Now remember, there's 4 types of rank qualification requirements. First, your own personal volume. Second, personal enrollments. Third, team structure with accompanying GQV. And fourth, your organization's total group qualifying volume. So let's use the example. This is Tina. Tina's the brand rep here. So Tina, her personal QV requirement for Kappa is 100 QV in personal purchase volume for that month. That's like 1 Prima or like a 3-pack of Premium Evo. Check. Tina's got that. She's getting her Prima every month, and she's doing it on a subscription, so it's just kind of set it and forget it. She gets that every month, gets the good health benefits of that and that level 1 requirement. Level 2 requirement, 3 personal enrollments. These are people that Tina has personally enrolled or sponsored. They can be business builders or customers, and they each have to have 100 in their own personal volume or qualifying volume for that month in order to qualify as an active personal enrollment. Check. She's got 3. She's got Susie, she's got Lewis, and she's got John. Now, next, she needs 3 separate teams, each with at least 100 group qualifying volume within that team or within that branch of her business. Now, remember that teams are the branches of your business that stem from a team lead placed on your level 1 or front line. Team leads can be your own direct enrollments or someone placed by an upline sponsor on your level 1 or front line. Team leads are typically business builders, not just a customer who's consuming products. So in this example, you can see that 2 of Tina's team leads, 2 of Tina's teams are led by 2 of her personally enrolled people. That first one, Susie, and that second one, Lewis. They're Tina's personal enrollments. But this third one, this is a new person that we've introduced here. This is Joanna. Joanna was sponsored and enrolled by Tina's upline, but that upline placed Joanna on Tina's front line, and Joanna's building, and she counts as a team for Tina.
So before you move on from this, it's okay if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's in the chat. Somebody asked the question in the Q&A, if somebody has 5,000 in volume, but they don't have any legs, so they must have a lot of legs. They don't have any legs at 1,000. Does that all automatically compress to become 3 legs? So using this example, it's okay if I answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So using this example that you guys are seeing, this one is for a Kappa qualification. But if you had, let's say, 10 legs on your front line. So if you're looking at Susie, Lewis, and Joanna, but that kept extending out 7 more, and you don't have a single leg that is 1,000 in volume, and even if you have the total of 5,000 total group volume, they don't compress to be 3 legs. The way that the horizontal compression works is it's going to automatically take your 2 strongest legs, and it's going to say, these are your 2 legs. We're then going to look at the other 8, because you have 10 on your front line. We're going to look at those other 8 and compress them to become 1 leg. So in that,
and we've got a slide with that later that we'll also be able to dig into too.
In that scenario, you would not be a quinto. You would still have a little bit of work to do.
But one of the unique things about Kappa in particular is that Kappa, since Kappa volume requirement is only 100 GQV in a team from a level 1 customer or builder, really then if you had 3 level 1 customers, each with 100 QV for that month, that would count for both your personal enrollments and your team qualification for Kappa if they were all your personal enrollments. So Kappa is a little unique wherein you can just have 3 customers or business builders on your front line that you've enrolled, each with 100 QV for that month, and you would qualify as a Kappa so long as you had your overall volume at 1,000, which would include your purchases and all those purchases within your team. So for Kappa, you can actually meet both those, the personal enrollment requirement and the team qualification, with just those 3 people with 100. You would still need the overall 1,000 qualification and your own personal volume. Joe?
Yeah, I wanted to, Malcolm, I was calling you out there at the beginning. You were like talking to, I wonder if we could pull Malcolm up for a second. And I'm going to put him on the spot a little bit because Malcolm and I were talking, Malcolm Wallace, for those who are brand new on the call, just so you know that Malcolm's building a business, which is quite unique and quite cool. I love it. His name's Surfing Life with Malcolm. He's a surfer, but living in the Philippines, in a really remote part of the Philippines, which is a great example of you could build anywhere in the world. Malcolm has it's like incredible. No, like there's almost every day we're on calls with him, and as he's growing his business and so forth. But Malcolm, hey, Malcolm, there you are. I'm going to put you on the spot because you were talking about create kappas and how important this is. This is a foundational position in the company, very foundational. You've been a leader in this industry for decades now. Why is this important? Why is this position so important? Why do you call it like create kappa? I can't remember how you were wording that with me, but why don't you take a quick minute or so just to, why is this such an important foundational position?
Sure. Curtis, did you allow me to share my screen right there?
Yeah, let me when you try to share, allow you share.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing and start again. So what the beauty of this with Gordon, he started, I loved it when he said it, me plus three. And it's a progression. And when I look at pay plans, does the pay plan and meeting where the pay plan goes, does it create the right, do you want me to do my share? Is that what you're asking me for?
Yeah.
Does it create the right incentive? That's the key, right? Is the pay plan creating that right incentive for people? And that's really important. So I'm not sure if the screen's sharing. I made these slides.
We can see it. Yep.
There we go. Hang on. So you're at a kappa. Before that, you've enrolled. And yes, you can earn income without purchasing product. That's FTC compliant. But you got to purchase the product. Now you purchase the product. And you have 100 points. So now you're qualified. You go get 3 people personally enrolled. So you with 100 points, a minimum order. Remember, if you double down to get your 2 levels on everything with 2 levels on your sprint, you would be double these amounts. So you go out and you introduce 3 people. 1, 2, 3. You see them here on the first level. Each has 100 points. There you go. You've qualified now to earn more levels into the pay plan. So we want to create kappa creators, right? Or as Hernan says it, right, Hernan, if you're on the call, what's Hernan's line? Kappa Kickstarters, right? So to become a kappa is just a progression. You want these personally enrolled people of yours to go out and help 3, just me plus 3, like Gordon says. It doesn't work that way in a perfect world, but I'm just giving you an example here. So, you go out and help 3 here on the left. You help this person, help them, you get 3. They help them, they get 3. They help them, get 3. What have you got? Now you've got, if it was just 100 points order, you got 1, 2, 3, and then 9 people here. You just got yourself 1,200 in volume. That is, more than the 1,000 needed. 1,000, people talk about that. I've never done 1,000 push-ups. 1,000 sit-ups. Come on. Well, that's 10 orders, folks. That's one thing I said to Gordon after our second call. I called him back and went, I think it's too easy. So now here's the progression. This is the beauty of this. You've got yourself to where you're ordering double the amount. You're earning double the amount on your 3rd level, 10%. That's a nice kick in the back pocket, right? That helps you. But you want to help these people. You would like to get them to kappa. So it's the exact same progression of 3, me plus 3. So you're going to get forced to quinto by kappa creators, creating kappas. Because as you help those people and help their team get 3 who get 3, the progression just happens. Remember, back here, the previous one, 3 people, 1,000 volume. Now you're just going to help those teams. Now, yes, you need 5, and we know how that works. And the beauty is the horizontal compression, right? I learned that last month. I knew exactly what I was doing, you guys, right? I built a team 40 plus wide, and I was taking my time for placement and everything. And I had plenty of volume, plenty of volume. I think it was to 20 or more. But I was just waiting to place those teams. And unless you've built your 2 big solid teams, the horizontal compression will take the volume, not the people, and help you with your third leg for qualification. But by helping those original people here become Kappa, what happens to you? You get forced to Quinto. It's as simple as that. The incentive is to help your team. Me, three.
Oh my gosh, Malcolm, that's exactly great. Okay, this is what a leader is like.
One more step for you. So simple. You do one more. So now you're Quinto. So you want to help these people here. Yours people become Quinto, which is these people helping these people move from Kappa and move up. So you're into a few levels deeper. What happens? You're just working with 1 to 2 levels close to you. You help them move up to that. That pushes you from Quinto. They automatically look at the volume here. It just automatically, you're getting them to Quinto, them to Quinto. What happens to you? You end up as a venti. It's the right incentive. It's not about look at me, recognition like other pay plans. It's the right incentive. Work with your teams, me +3. Teach your first level, me +3. Teach that next level, me +3. Ray and I coin it so easy for you. Invite 3 to teach 3 to build 3. It's that simple. Thanks, you guys.
Hey,
Thanks,
Malcolm, what I want to point out, first of all, you're super prepared. Good grief. Throw it at you and you already have the presentation ready. That's a leader, you know. Now, number 2, what I love what Malcolm was talking about, this is where I wanted to get to. Kappa is the foundation. Like you saw what he said. If you in order to get to Kappa, you need to have 3 people. But in order to get to Quinto, you also need to have those 3 people now become Kappa. It's always like constantly building Kappas. You know, I had an opportunity to send out messages to all the new Kappas. What is it? 64 Kappas last month. And one of them, I loved the answer. I sent it to you guys over the weekend was, I'm just promoting 3 more Kappas this week, to the point of what Malcolm's saying. Yeah. Now that Kappa's now promoting 3 Kappas, and that whole point, now we want to just keep duplicating Kappas. And that's why Hernan and Donna are saying Kappa Kickstarters, you know, they got their own, that's what we're trying to do. So thank you, Malcolm. Thanks for letting me put you on the spot there and share that. Appreciate it.
Also, look at all that product behind Malcolm.
I know.
That's looking good.
Yeah, Malcolm, it's looking good out in the middle of the Philippines. You got, look at that.
All right.
Look at that. I love it. Thanks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. For all those injuries you've had over the years, Malcolm.
Malcolm, you're on mute.
Oh, you're on mute, brother.
Orders are getting shipped a lot faster than you over there watching those shipments is actually happening.
Yeah, they're coming through quick. So, hey, thanks, Malcolm. Thanks for sharing. So, let's go back.
No, you're great. That was great.
Actually, he just took it through. He just through Venti.
Yeah, that's easy. So that was exactly what we were
Sign your
saying.
notes.
Oh, okay. Switch it here.
Well, switch it back over.
Sorry, let me find right here. There we go. Okay, so thank you, Malcolm. That was great. So now let's jump into, we've learned now how the ranks work, how to rank up. So now let's see how those ranks actually pay out on the different payout levels. So the baseline, it pays out in 2 different parallel commission streams. Now this depends on whether or not a reorder comes from what we call a builder or a customer. So a builder refers to somebody who is building an income or a check with OLIABO. So this includes brand reps, affiliates, wellness professionals, anybody who's building a business with OLIABO, we call them a builder. A reorder, second order, third order, fourth order, ongoing orders from builders generate commissions of 5 to 10% per level through 8 levels. Now, this rewards leadership and team building with bigger commission percentages through deeper pay levels. I'm going to talk about it a little more in depth in a minute, but notice that on level 3, there's that differentiator that Malcolm called out. When you become a Kappa, you unlock level 3, which in this situation, from a builder reorder, would pay you 10% on those level 3 reorders that happen. There's an important reason why we put that 10% kicker on those level 3 reorders. I'll get into that in a minute. So Customer refers to somebody that orders OLIABO products for personal use. They're not here necessarily to build a business or earn commissions. They're here to consume the product. Now, somebody who's a customer could become a builder later, or somebody who's a builder but just wants to kind of explore OLIABO by being a customer first. They're just buying product and consuming products, so they would be a customer. A customer reorder generates a higher level 1 payout of 25%, which rewards customer-focused sales, because customer-focused sales is a critical component for the business. It drives additional volume, it boosts QV, it increases contributions to the global bonus pool, and all of those things benefit everyone in the Premium Pay plan. Levels 2 through 8 from customer reorders, they pay 2.5% to 5% per level, as you can see here. Again, notice level 3, it's got that differentiator. Instead of 2.5% like the other levels, level 3 commissions that you unlock at Kappa and above, 5% payout. No matter who reorders those, a customer, a builder, a brand rep, an affiliate, OLIABO always pays out 50% of commissionable volume, 45% to the 8 baseline levels, and 5% to the global bonus pool. So again, that level 3, why that differentiator on builder reorders and on customer reorders? Why 10% and 5% on that level 3? Well, it's not an accident. We've learned from experience, from years and decades of experience in the network marketing space, that most people can build to level 3 through their connections, through their network, through their efforts. Most people can build to level 3. But oftentimes, level 3 is where a lot of people kind of hit that wall or hit that ceiling. If they can't build beyond that, that's when their business kind of sputters out and dies. Level 3 is where a business, a network marketing business, either explodes and expands or shrinks and dies, right? So we wanted to put those incentives there to drive people to building and placing on their level 3, because that's where they then push hard, build a level 3, and then it explodes out from there. Then those people that they put in place build out to their level 3 and explodes from there. And it just creates that explosion and that dynamic pushing and growing and growth from there. And so it's very strategic. So that's why there's that differentiator there, is to really push and drive beyond that to grow your business. Let's walk through a baseline reorder payout example to see how this all comes together. Now we're going to break it down in 2 different ways: what a reorder would look like through a builder payout structure and what a customer reorder would look like. So let's say somebody reorders Prima, has a value of 100 CV. So since Premium Pay always distributes out 50%, that means that $50 is going to be paid out in this example. 45% through the 8 baseline levels and 5% contributed to the global bonus pool. The green column in the middle there shows how the Prima reorder would pay out if made by a builder. The initial upline rep or above connected to that builder's reorder, that level 1 payout of 5% or $5 would go to them. Then the system looks upline for a qualified Bravo rep to receive that level 2 payout of 5% or $5. The level 3 payout goes to a qualified Kappa ranker above. In this example, that would be 10% or $10. Then the system continues to look upline for qualified Quintos, Ventis, and finally a Premio to pay the additional 5% or $5 at each level. Now let's look at the blue column to see how that same Prima reorder would pay out if made by a customer instead of a builder. The level 1 payout for a customer reorder, that's that 25%, $25. Again, we want to incentivize focus on customer sales. It's really important. So that level 1 customer reorder would be 25% or $25. Now that would be a level 1 reorder from your direct enrollments or from somebody a customer placed on your front line by an upline sponsor. You get that level 1 reward of $25 for taking care of that customer, even if it wasn't your direct enrollment. The system then looks upline for a Bravo rep to receive that level 2 payout of 2.5% or $2.50 in this example. And then that level 3 payout goes to a Kappa, 5% or $5. And then Premio Pay continues to look upline to pay out the remaining levels to qualified Quintos and Ventis and finally a Premio. Both examples pay out 50% of the CV or $50, $45 through the 8 levels, $5 contribute to the global bonus pool. Now remember, if somebody isn't qualified at a rank that otherwise would be entitled to one of these specific commission levels, dynamic compression automatically searches up line to pay out that level to the next qualified position, eliminating breakage. So be sure that you are meeting your highest potential monthly rank qualification to maximize your commission levels so you're not missing out on the opportunity. So we touched on a little earlier on horizontal compression. Horizontal compression is a really unique and incredible piece of the Premio Pay plan. Horizontal compression automatically helps you qualify for higher ranks by intelligently grouping. The system automatically intelligently groups your smaller teams and level 1 customers into a single combined team to help achieve your highest possible rank qualifications. Now, this isn't moving placements or anything. The system is just using this for rank qualification calculations. So here's how it works. First, the system looks at your total group qualifying volume to determine the highest potential rank that you could achieve. So for example, like in this example, the system would look at this brand rep and would say, okay, this brand rep has a total organizational volume of, what is that, 61,500. So it would say, okay, this brand rep's total group volume is 61,500. The highest potential rank they could achieve would be Premio. Now, let's see if they have the other qualifiers. Do they have their personal QV? Yep, check. Do they have their 5 personal enrollments? Yep, check. Now the system looks and says, okay, what is their highest team volume? Their highest team, their team 1 has 25,000 in actual volume in that team 1. Their second highest team has 6,500 in actual volume in that team 2, their highest second team. So the qualifiers for Premio is what it's trying to get them to. It's saying, okay, they could potentially qualify as a Premio. They've got one team at 20,000 or above, and they've got one team at 5,000 or above. So they're needing one other team at 20,000 or above. So what the system then does is it says all of their smaller teams and all of their customers, it groups all of that into a combined volume. So in this example, their team 3, team 4, team 5, team 6, and all their frontline level 1 customers are all combined volume. And that combined volume in this example equals 20,000. And so that creates their third qualifying team at 20,000 or above, which then gives them what they need to rank as a Premio. So without horizontal compression, this brand rep in this example would have ranked as a Venti, but because horizontal compression, which is automatic, you don't have to do anything, it automatically combined and ranked them up to a Premio. We're already seeing this happen. We've seen this happen across the board. Horizontal compression created at least one of our Premios. Horizontal compression created at least one or two of our Ventis, and it also created several of our other ranks for Kappa and for Quinto. I
think everyone's experiencing it to one degree.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even Malcolm mentioned it.
Oh, totally.
It's never been done before. Like this is unique, and I agree with Julie. This comp plan's going down in MLM history. She just made that comment. I think true. It's never been done.
Yeah. Now this is incredible. I mean, we've really focused on building this plan so that it aligns the incentives from the corporate side to you with dynamic compression, horizontal compression, and simplifying things so that it does what the corporate side needs to be able to build and grow a business, but to make it possible for you to rank up and qualify and grow your business as simply as possible with all the different things that are happening and simplifying that process. So one of the things that this does, one of the important things about a unilevel compensation plan, which is a piece of what Premio Pay is based on, is that it's unlimited width, right? As wide as you want to build your organization with your level 1 placements, you can do that. Build it as wide as you want with customers or with teams. Now, you've got to do that in a way that makes sense for you and for your strategy and what you think you can manage. But with horizontal compression, it makes it so that you get all of the qualifying volume. It goes into your rank qualifications. So it rewards building wide and enrolling lots of direct customers, and it ensures that all of your efforts contribute to your rank qualifications. So note that Quinto rank and above are eligible for this. I mentioned Kappa. I was wrong about that. Sorry. Quinto and above qualifies for horizontal compression. Global bonus pool. So we've talked about this a few times, but this is our quarterly commission opportunity. It's a big deal. It's something that we recommend everybody is aiming and working towards in building your OLIABO business. Each calendar quarter, 5% of OLIABO's total global commissionable volume is added into a pool that's then divided pro rata among qualified leaders being Premio rank and above. Not all companies have a global bonus pool, and those that do typically contribute 1 to, at the max, 3% of their global to that pool. So OLIABO's 5% global bonus pool is huge and is a game changer. I mean,
There's gonna be a lot of money made from
in past experiences, you've seen what a 3% global bonus pool could do, and it was amazing.
This is, and I'll point out all these features that Curtis is highlighting here, and the keeping volume close, like he said, wanting to build, like if you happen to be building wide, the horizontal compression helps you bring it in, but it's still kept close to you. The volume is kept tight, and we want you to make bigger money. We want the checks to be the biggest they could possibly be. And so keeping that volume tight to the individual is going to mean not just bigger monthly checks, but bigger quarterly checks for everyone. This is anyone involved in that. So,
Yeah,
Ron says focus on the pool.
yeah.
Build accordingly.
Ron is his.
What do you know about it, Ron?
So Ron, who we introduced on our Tuesday call, who's joined our team, he has been building commission plans and managing commission plans for decades in various organizations in the network marketing space. Extremely experienced. And so he always tells me, he's like, you got to get people focusing on building their organization to get to where they're getting into the pools, because if they do that, they will naturally be successful in all the other aspects, the sprints, the baseline structure, all of that will all grow if they focus on what they need to do to move up the ranks to get to Premio and participate in the
It's
pools.
designed to make big checks.
Yep.
There will be big checks.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So reward trips, we touched on this a few minutes ago when we were talking on sprints. 5% of all initial orders, all first account orders through the sprint structure are contributed to the incentive pool. And that incentive pool is going to be providing for a lot of different incentive rewards, which includes reward trips to various places throughout the world. Each reward trip will have specific qualification requirements that will be announced along with the trip on what it takes to be able to qualify for that trip. Now, Italy, we've announced Italy is going to be our first reward trip. That's going to come up this next fall. Reward trips. So actually, you want to touch on it?
Did you have a thought?
Well, I was just going to say, everyone's been really anxious to find out about this, and we're so thankful for your patience. It's just we're trying to button in a few things, but just think Premio, right?
Yep.
Right, Adam? Think Premio. Think that's where it starts. And it's going to be a tiered progression from there. So tiered levels of how to be involved in this trip. But Premio is the beginning.
Yeah, so Premio gets the invite to the actual Italy trip, but then there's going to be tiers, like Joe said, but it's going to be tiers of your experience along the way of earning that trip. So you might be able to earn higher tiers of experience for that Italy
And when we
trip.
say Premio, that's the beginning part of it, but then there could be Premio. Just think maybe Premio for 2 months or Premio for 3 months. And that unlocks more, to use your terminal, it unlocks more of the trip. Okay, but we just still have a little bit more touching, and we take responsibility for not having it right today. We told you we would, but it's just right there.
Close,
But we
we'll
pretty
get
much just gave it to you right
Yeah.
there. That's how everyone from now, the Rocky Bell goes off and say, okay, we know we have to hit Premio. That's
Let's go.
the very first start. Let's rock and roll towards Premio.
Exactly. So reward trips are an exciting part of the OLIABO experience. Incredible memories, lasting friendships are built on these trips. It's also a great opportunity and chance to connect with and learn from top leaders and from corporate executives. So make sure that you're focused on understanding the trips, qualifying for the trips, and teaching your team members to do the same. So we went over some of this before, but I want to just emphasize some of the different ranks that happened in December, our first full month. Here's the ranks that happened. We had 64 kappas in our first full month. Now, there's a reminder of what those requirements are. That's personal QV of 100, 3 active enrollments with 100 QV each, 3 teams with 100 total volume in that team, and your total organization volume of 1,000 QV. 64 people and more because of the other ranks, but 64 reached Kappa or above. We had 17 quintos. Those are the rank qualifications for quinto. That's the focus that it took to get to there. Personal QV, same with the Kappa, 100 QV. Active personal enrollments, 3, each with 100 QV. Again, just 3 teams, each with now 1,000 in group volume. And then the total organizational volume, 5,000. Again, congrats to those quintos. So we're seeing how it's kind of all coming together. All this stuff we've just been talking about and how that all comes together in these rank qualifications. We had 3 ventees hit for December. Now, personal QV bumps up a little bit. More personal consumption and sharing of product, 200 QV and personal QV. 4, now add 1 more active personal enrollment. That's 4 people that you've enrolled into the business that also have 100 QV each for that month. 3 teams, now with 5,000 in each of those teams, 5,000 in volume, and then your total organizational volume of 20,000. Congrats on the ventees. You're right there. You're about to hit Premio. Premio then unlocks the global bonus pool, qualifications for this initial trip. So these ventees, you're right there. So keep going.
Look at these logos on the left side. I mean, those look slick.
Yeah. These are some of these badges here you see on all of these. We're going to be getting these digital versions out to these people that have qualified. So as you get these different qualifications, we'll be providing digital badges soon. You can share those on social. You can post it in different places to just represent your achievement and where you're going and where you've gone and just keep ranking up. So then we had 3 premios hit in December, our first full month. This is incredible, right? And this is what it took to get there. Active. So your personal QV for that month, 200 QV, same as Venti. Now add 1 more active personal enrollment, 5 personal enrollments, each with 100 in qualifying volume for that month. Your team, still just 3 teams, but now you need 1 team with 5,000 in volume and 2 teams with 20,000 in volume, and then total organizational volume, 50,000. Incredible. Obviously, to achieve this in that first month, these people have been doing this a while and they've been building their group and their network and their abilities in this kind of network marketing business, not just in that month, but for years before, and then really hitting this home run right out of the gate is an incredible testament to their efforts, to their leadership, to all that they've done in the past to be able to bring people up to speed and do this in that first month. So congratulations and great job on showing how it's done. And then of course, we've got, I don't remember where I had that slide, but we had one.
No, we actually didn't have a logo for 100K yet. Gordon put together one. We didn't expect that.
Oh yeah, there it was.
There it is.
There it is.
We
So,
didn't
yeah.
expect that to happen already. And there's a little hint too of behind us right there with Venice. Actually, Gordon did announce that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Venice is going to be part of that trip.
Part of that trip.
And it's a magical place. Look at that, Ray and Cheryl.
It's pretty incredible. So that is the comp plan. Now, are there any questions we want to go over, or should I share my screen to show the where we're at with the replicated sites?
Yeah.
Let me share that while you're sorting through some questions.
Why don't you go over the replicated sites and while do you need a second to bring that up?
I am.
Yeah, while you're doing that, so does your personal volume count in your total qualifying volume for your total group volume? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Your personal volume does count for that. Okay, you see that?
Who was that handsome guy?
Okay, so here, this is in our sandbox, but this is where we're at with the replicated sites. So your replicated site, the actual URL will be like oliabo.com/Curtis Fulmer or your username, right? And so it will then identify that to people who are there landing on yours that they're exploring Oliabo with you, right, with your username. So this will continue to grow and evolve as we move forward. So more content and other pages and all that stuff will continue to evolve as we evolve this. But this is the beginning, so we're almost there. So it's got the corporate side content here, just introducing things on this homepage. They can then dive into the products, explore the product pages, right? So this is a lot of the same content you see on the corporate site right now at oliabo.com. But now it will be on your site. And you've got story, team that they can dig into. And then there's links throughout these different pages that then link them into a shopping experience, or they can just dive right into the shopping experience right here. And then right here, they can start shopping. They can add things to their shopping cart. They can check out. This is a familiar experience to you because this is a similar experience to what the back office is like. So you can see it's ready to roll, right? It's right here, ready to go. So we're just fine tuning a few last things. And as much as I would love to roll this out today or tomorrow, it's never a good idea to roll out such an important big component when a weekend is fast approaching and you might not have the development help that you need to fix any issues or problems on the weekend. So unfortunately, we're going to push this to launch next week, but there it is. It's right here. You can see it's here. It's ready to go. It's going to be a great tool for you to use to drive people to. It's, as you can see, it's very much just like a regular e-commerce shopping experience. When somebody goes through the checkout process, it will naturally allow them to either sign in or create an account. They can create an account right here. When they create an account, it will automatically connect them to you and will give you credit for it. So it will bring everybody in as a customer. They can then upgrade to a brand rep in their back office if they want to. But it's just a very simple checkout flow, checkout process that makes it easy for everyone to come through and in a very simple, clean way. Any questions, Adam?
No. So if you have questions, put them into the Q&A section.
Yeah, we'll take a few minutes to answer some questions. But of course, if you've got questions or you need help on anything, a reminder, we're always improving this experience, the products, the checkout flow, the back office. We're continually improving it, and we're continually rolling out new things. But anything that you see that you have questions on, any issues you're having, whether it's with a shipping thing or how to use the back office or how to read a report, anything like that, we're always here to help, right? We're a team with you. If you're not successful, we're not successful. So reach out if you're having any problems or issues or any questions or need some guidance. Support@oliabo.com, reach out. Also, as we mentioned, reach out to your upline, reach out to people that have introduced you to Oliabo. They're a wealth of knowledge and information, and everybody's really, it's an incredible community that we're building, and everybody's willing to help each other out and support each other. And so just let us know, let other people know. We're here to help you build and to grow in whatever way that works for you. The reality is that Oliabo provides an incredible opportunity with the products that we have to bless the lives of ourselves and of many people with the incredible products. And the natural benefit of that is that there's an incredible opportunity to build a business with Oliabo. So whether that's a part-time opportunity for you because of where you're at in life and what you're focused on, or whether you want to build a monster organization with Oliabo that it just becomes legendary for you and for your family, it's all here, and we're here to help you do that.
Here's a thought. Do you mind if I just share a thought for as we're closing this call up? One thing that Gordon's talked to us about is that as we find ways on a call like this, we can introduce like a leadership thought or principle. And so as a thought for the day to leave you with, one thing that I learned many years ago from my father, when I was a kid, I've heard this different times along the way throughout my whole career in this industry. And it seems simple, but it's such an important part of building a network. And that is, we are really storytelling people. We're a storytelling people, and the story is really important. And so you'll notice for the last several months as we've been building towards this, we've been telling the story, we've been crafting the story. And I noticed that a lot of the leaders, when they come in, they're working on crafting their version of the story, of course, because everyone's story is a little different.
Yeah.
And so to illustrate the importance of a story and how much value it brings, I have three boys and a daughter, so we have 4 children. Our daughter, by the way, is the caboose. It's beautiful. The fact that we've got a girl that came in towards the end, but our one son, he's our third son, and he's a dreamer, owns his own little business. In fact, he's in San Francisco right now in business. He just tried to call me, and that's what triggered this thought. And I thought, I'm going to share this. Years and years ago when he was little, he brought to me, I don't really care for Halo, the game. My boys all played it. I don't know if you guys play Halo. I'm not very good at it. I'm always that guy in the corner of Halo where everyone's like killing me and I can't get out of the corner. I don't do well with the game. But he gives me Halo, what is it? Master Chief, I think the guy's name is. Master, is that right, Adam?
That's the man.
Master Chief, he's the character. And Master Chief looks very different than what Master Chief really looked like. It was all kind of Frankenstein. So he had a red arm and a green arm and a white arm. And I'm like, what? I don't understand, Nate. What is this? And I really just put it aside, didn't think anything of it. And then he comes to me later and he's like, Dad, did you get the Master Chief? And I'm like, yeah, I don't. To me, it was just like this Frankenstein little thing. And he said, but Dad, I put that together for you. And I said, what? Tell me about it, son. Now I'm listening, okay? Now he's ready to tell me the story. The red, white, and green represented Nonna. We call Nonna grandma in Italian. And he said, because she's from Italy, and the colors of the Italian flag are red, white, and green. Now he's piqued my interest. He said, and you and Mom are from Canada. And so you got the red and the white because of the Canadian. This is he's like 8 years old at the time or 9. Like, how did he even figure this out? It was quite impressive. Now he's got my attention. Suddenly the story made the difference in this little toy that he gave me. The story made all the difference. And now that little toy, and much like many of you as parents, you understand, you get these little things from our kids from time to time. That one stuck out. And I have it sitting on my desk at my house at all times. And I've had that now for probably 15 years or whatever it's been since he gave me that, 14 years. And it sits there at all times. And I always have that. The story makes the difference. Yes, Malcolm, you're right. Science tells or facts tell, but stories sell. Malcolm's completely right. We are a storytelling people. And so if there's something that comes, and that's why I listen to how Curtis is crafting this comp plan, you'll get it down so you have the story. You hear about the product. We talk about the product. Get that story down and then understand your own personal story. And remember, people don't necessarily remember all the details, but they'll remember how they feel. And the story makes that difference. And so keep that. There's a little thought for the day, a little leadership thought, and how to build a business. It seems fairly basic. I get it, but it's absolutely fundamental and key. We are a storytelling people. And like Malcolm says, facts tell, but stories sell, or science tells that stories sell. Okay. So with that said, let's close this up.
I love it. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Malcolm. Thank you all for being here, for participating. Again, reach out to your upline, to those who have introduced you to this opportunity, whether you're interested in just in being a customer and consuming the product,